Sup guys, it's me Charlie, and in about an hour's time we are going to get a new Spotlight week, right? So I'm here to review it. Scream, Man-Thing, Mobius and Mobius. Let's begin. Now let's begin with Scream. When an enemy card moves, steal 2 power from it once per turn. Now if you have been following my channel, you will know that I love this card. I think it's a fantastic card. It's going to revitalize Kingpin move, and I think that Kingpin move already, as of now, is already a decent archetype, is a decent deck. So with Scream coming in and potentially becoming a 218, as high, it has the ceiling of as high as 218, right? I do believe it's going to elevate Kingpin move to a viable competitive level. So I love Scream. I think that Scream is going to be fantastic. I personally think that Scream alone is worth 4 keys. But please bear in mind that I am a fan of Kingpin move, but that is not for everybody. Alright, that's not for everybody. Some of you may prefer other archetypes, some of you may prefer other decks, some of you may be a little bit short on resources, so there may be archetypes that you may want to play instead of Kingpin move. Alright, so we have to look at the entire Spotlight week, which is the reason why we are going on to the next card, which is Man-Thing. Ongoing 1, 2, 3 cost cards have -2 power. Now Man-Thing have received a huge buff, right, since from its release, and I do think that Man-Thing is a decently solid card right now in Affliction. Alright, and it's a good card, but the problem is it's a series 4 card, and while it's a good card, it is not irreplaceable. Right, I run an Affliction deck, I don't have Man-Thing, I played the Thing instead, and I don't think my win rate or cube rate has been affected by a lot because I do not have Man-Thing. Right, so I don't think Man-Thing actually moves the meter towards opening for this week. If you are looking at, you know, Man-Thing having an impact on your decision, definitely no. Right, and Man-Thing's other home is in a Jean Grey control deck, but even then, that's not your first choice because playing Omega Red is actually your better choice. Right, so there's no way that Man-Thing is going to swing your decision, especially when he's a series 4 card. So we move on to the next card, which is Mobius and Mobius. Right, so Mobius and Mobius, ongoing, your cost can't be increased, your opponent cost can't be reduced. Now Mobius and Mobius, when he was released, was easily one of the best tech card because that was the season when Loki was out as well, and Loki was crazy. In fact, Loki was at the height of his powers. So Mobius and Mobius was the counter against Loki. Mobius and Mobius is the best counter against Loki, right? But right now Loki has been reworked to Oblivion. I think Loki is pretty much dead at the moment. So Mobius and Mobius is also pretty much dead, right? Especially right now the trend is not, the trend is not reducing the cost of your cards, but rather gaining additional energy, such as with Airsham, such as with Weaken, right? So yeah, this Mobius and Mobius is not exactly doing anything in the current meta, in the current trend, right? With how things are going, Mobius and Mobius actually doesn't do anything, right? And with Loki not around, I think Mobius and Mobius value as a tech card is near zero, right? If I could say so. The only thing that I can see Mobius and Mobius doing is for Pixie decks. Alright, you play Pixie, sometimes you may shuffle and you may get a 6 cost Wasp, alright, and you don't want that because you don't want to play a 6-1. Alright, you have Mobius and Mobius to shuffle the value down, and whoops, now you have a 0/0/12 Magneto in the deck. Alright, the 6 on the walls still is a 0, has been reverted back to a 0 thanks to Mobius and Mobius, right? And you're able to play a 0 cost Magneto and a 0 cost Wasp. So Mobius and Mobius' current role, I would say, is only in Pixie decks, and well, Pixie decks basically is an acquired taste, it's a unique taste. It's whether you like it or not. But having said that again, Mobius and Mobius, like the main thing, is a series 4 card. So if you really want to run a Pixie deck and you really want to have Mobius and Mobius, why not just use the tokens instead? Right? So Mobius and Mobius, well, it does a little bit to move the needle towards opening if you really want Pixie, if you are really a huge Pixie lover, alright, and you are kind of short on tokens, right, and have a little bit more keys. So in summary, I do think that Scream alone is worth 4 keys, but this is a preference thing, right, because not everybody enjoys playing Kingpin move. Kingpin move, there are certain limitations to playing Kingpin move, right? You do need to be somewhat patient. You do need to have a you do need to have a liking to try to anticipate what people will play, where people will play into, alright, to gain the maximum to gain the maximum output for Kingpin move. You need to enjoy playing a little bit of mind games and stuff like that. So it's not for everybody, to be honest, right? Not everybody will find it fun, and some people find it a little bit perplexing because you are always trying to guess what your opponent is trying to do, right? You are trying to outsmart your opponent. You are trying to have an overly interactive game with your opponent, if you were to ask me, right? So some people may not like it. Overall, I think that this week is very weak in the sense of the overall value. Manting, Mobius, and Mobius are cards that you do not need in your collection, to be very honest, right? But Scream, if you love Kingpin, alright, and if already have a lot of cards, you are not desperately gunning for any card, and you have a fair amount of keys, I would say Scream is easily worth 4 keys. So that's my take on the upcoming Spotlight Week. I hope it does shed some additional light to help you in your decision making.